All right. I'm gonna open it up for any questions like I normally do. I did this call a little bit ago, I think like 2, 3 weeks ago. How are you? Thanks for jumping on camera with me.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. I feel like I'm
Mhm.
talking to a rock star, but let's keep on.
Oh, thanks. Oh, that's so nice. I needed that today. I'll take it. So we're going to talk about video studio and digital ads. I did this call, like I just said, a few weeks ago. So I'll kind of repeat most of it, but if there's any specific questions, and I don't know if anybody was on that call, but if you have any kind of follow-ups of how things were working for you, and if any questions came up in the process, definitely unmute yourself or type in the chat. Otherwise, if you did not hear my previous call, are there any questions or comments on Video Studio or digital ads as a whole that I can make sure I touch on in the call? Feel good? Jennifer, were you on the first one that I did?
I wasn't, so I really haven't been on the platform to encompass yet to really
Okay,
explore it. So I'll just be taking in as much information as possible.
great,
Yeah.
cool. All right, well, I'll give a kind of like a once over then, and then you guys can always stop me if we have any questions along the way. All right, let me share my screen. Okay. So this is Video Studio. So when you go into marketing here, there's a bunch of different things that you can do. I'm going to start in Video Studio, which can then bring us into digital ads because you can obviously use a video as your digital ad. So I'll start from there. And then I'll also just go into digital ads as a whole. And at the end, I'm going to review how you can actually look at how your digital ad performed and how to share those insights with your sellers or or anybody else that you need to, for that matter. I have Chirag calling me right now. I'm like, oh my God, this just feels I'm like you're on there and I'm doing your thing. Sorry, can't talk to you when he sees this recording. All right, so let's start in Video Studio here. So there's a lot of different templates that they have now. When I first started like 4.5 years ago, there's like 2 options. So you can do a bunch of different ones and they'll kind of segment them out here with, connect with buyers, connect with sellers, open houses, anything like that. So for me, I would say like, let's say I'm doing this for a seller. I would do, you can edit any of these. Let's try this just listed one here. Very simple. I can go in and just type in an address that I have. So to do 9 Pine Cliff Road in Chappaqua. You can link this to the business tracker folder. And I think I have another business tracker call tomorrow, actually. So this will be more apparent tomorrow if you haven't already heard my call on that. But I do like to link as many things to business tracker as possible so that everything I'm doing for a client is all housed in one place. And then here you can either do create custom or generate video. Create custom would mean that like you're going through and deciding which slides you want on there yourself. You can change the music. You could take things in, take things out, add things in. Generate video is if like you just want to make something very quick. Compass AI will just put something together for you. So I'll do generate video just to show you the quickest way to go through and do this. And then we can run through actually editing it as well. Almost there. There we go. Okay. I'll mute it for a second. So it's basically just taking now anything that was in my listing description, the bedroom count, the price, square footage, location, really anything that's in there. And this is how it's coming up with what it's saying on each slide and all of that. So from here, and I'm just going to read out what's on the left here. So thank you for using Video Studio. Here are a few tips to help you grow your business with your video. Publish them on Instagram and Facebook to market your listings, which you can either download and then upload, or you can actually post to Facebook or Instagram directly through the Compass Marketing Center here. But they do need to be already linked in and merged into your Compass Marketing Center, but it needs to be a business account. So sometimes people run into issues with that. If it's like a personal account, you can't link it. So if you ever have an issue with it, sometimes I think just downloading it is a little bit easier. And then once you have that video, you can go and put that on Instagram, LinkedIn, your website, whatever you wanted to do with it. You can obviously advertise new listings on social channels, which is what we're talking about. You can download this. You can put this on MLS. You can put it on YouTube. And then you can show this, I guess it's saying, at listing presentations as well, which, yes, this is actually a really nice demo if you ever play around with it, to show rather than tell any kind of sellers about how quick it can be to create a video. And I have this in my Canva presentation from the call I did last week as well. So from here, you can download it this way, and now you'll see it downloads right there and as a video format. You can add this to listing. This will go into like a YouTube and then a YouTube format, and then it'll link to your MLS, or you can create the digital ad or create a social post. So I'm going to do all of those things so we can show you. So I don't have a business Facebook account. My mom does. So it would tell me right now to log into Facebook because nothing is linked here. If you wanted to go through and actually log into either Instagram business or Facebook business, or whatever Meta business is, whatever it is now, this is the prompt that you would follow to just go in and log into your account. And then from there, it's very simple. You'd log in, it'll press post, you can do your caption, very simple to do. If you wanted to create this digital ad, and this is if like you just wanted to email this to somebody, I don't know if you ever really need to do that, but create digital ad here. It's now going to bring us over into the digital ad platform, which is another box in Marketing Center that we'll go through at the end. And here you'll see it's linked to the Facebook account, so it can share from Corinne Novak at Compass Real Estate, which is her business profile. Same thing on Instagram, and then on Google. So let me move this out of the way for a second. All right, now I just see Jennifer in my corner because it goes to whoever I can see the video. So there you go. So now it's running over here, and you can go in and kind of edit how much you want to spend and how much it's recommending that you spend as well to actually get good traction. So for some reason, the standard is always $290. I think that's like the base amount that it wants you to pay to actually be able to get a really good amount of reach. But you'll see in here, you have two different options. So you can do consumers similar in profile to likely sellers on compass.com, or you can do your contact social media accounts, which is going to take the social media accounts from the people that are in your CRM. And then you can also specifically target by location. So 10514 is the default here because that's the zip code for the listing. If you wanted to also include some surrounding zip codes of maybe buyers or sellers or whoever it is that are in the surrounding towns, like this is a town called Chappaqua, but there's nearby zip codes. Like if I came in here and did 10549, that is a town that directly abuts Chappaqua right there. I could do 10536, which is another town that's nearby. And then you'll see that get more clicks than 90% of similar ads if you increase your budget by $10. So you'll see that the more zip codes I put in there, it's now telling me, okay, we just went from great to getting good results. So I think before, if I delete this, it was, this is great. It's getting more, it will get more listing views than 90% of similar listings. If I added in that other one, it dropped down to 50%. So if I add more money, we can get back into great territory. As always, money can fix everything. So think about kind of what you want to spend your marketing budget on, or whatever kind of marketing budget you have for yourself. I would just say don't get too crazy with these digital ads. Definitely, it's easy to just come in here and click, 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 and then you spend $1,000 before you know it. So just be really mindful, even if you do want to make this a pretty large part of your whole marketing plan. Just make sure that maybe you're mixing it up. You're doing maybe some for your listings, of course. Maybe you're doing this in lieu of a just listed postcard. So just figure out how you want to do this. I always like to say that because it really gets fun and you just start running these ads like nobody's business, and it does add up quick. And really make sure that you're spending time on the video that you're wanting to go and share on this digital ad, or the photo that you want to go and share. So here you'll see you'll get about 12 to 16,000 impressions, about 250 to 450 or 440 clicks, which is actually when people then click on it and go out to the listing or whatever's embedded in the digital ad. And it's going to say it's going to run for 10 days. You can switch this up. I usually just keep it as whatever it's suggesting, because there is algorithm to this whole thing, so I'd rather not mess with it too much. And then the same thing, you can choose to not run it on Facebook or only run it on Facebook, whatever you want to do. Again, I'm not knowledgeable enough on mixing and matching here, so I'd keep it pretty standard. I've always gotten great results with just the main setup that it's asking me for. And the majority of it will be on Facebook. I think that's because it's the cost per click. This is like one thing I have heard. The cost per click is less than on Instagram or Google, so you can get a little bit more bang for your buck via Facebook. So from here, you would click save once you're good with that. Let me make sure no one is on one question. How do you decide how many times to keep running these digital ads? I think you kind of have to play around with them and just figure out, how much is really in your marketing budget as a whole for these. Like I said, I wouldn't go too crazy with them, but I would definitely do one or two and start to see what kind of traction you're getting on them. I've definitely gotten leads from these, absolutely. When we go back into the digital ads after this, I'm going to show you also one that I would do instead of just doing it to the zip codes and to consumers on compass.com and actually running it across to your CRM. I have gotten texts before from people who have no idea that we have this feature of actually just targeting the people that are in my CRM. And they're like, oh my God, I see you on my Instagram, or I see you on Google, or you're following me on my shopping, whatever thing that, like, how the cookies follow you, whatever that is. And people think it's really cool. So I think it's like this version, this updated version of like a park bench or a bus stop or a billboard. This is now where people are looking, is on their phones. So doing that out to your consumer base is a fun one. So I would just think come up with a budget and see what you want to do. I know some people who this is something they offer, like one or two of these in their marketing package for a seller. So in that case, then you know how much you want to spend on that. Like I used the example before, I know of a specific person who will not do the just listed postcard, but they'd rather do this instead. So I think you just have to kind of come up with how it's working for you, run them a few times, kind of get used to it, see if you're happy with the results that it's giving you, and then maybe you pull away from somewhere else in your marketing budget, so you can run a few more of these. And then here you have the option of paying with an Amex or paying with a marketing budget. So just know that. I've never gotten a promo code. This isn't like kind of the Express Docs thing where like they'll send us a bunch of those promo codes. So that's not going to probably be there. And then you purchase the ad and it will start on the 20th. So tomorrow, and it'll run until March 30th. So that is kind of how that goes. If you wanted to actually edit in this ad design, so not the video, but if you wanted to edit out what it's saying on the headlines, you can go across the board and you can have this either run from your Compass as a whole, or you can have it run from whichever business Facebook account you have linked. So that's kind of fun. Best practice on this, I kind of like the look of it running from Compass because I kind of feel like when people see it, they think that like Compass is promoting me or my team or whatever it is. So that's kind of fun. But if you wanted to run from another Facebook page, that's fine too. And then I would probably change this up. Like for instance, this was I think this was, let me see, what is at the beginning? So just listed. So this is kind of like why I like to make my own. So this will say just listed, but then the description, the default description is Kate Bauer just sold this 3-bedroom, 3-bath listing in Chappaqua for $995. None of that is true. It was definitely not $995 that this went for, and I didn't sell it. I'm doing it just listed. So I would just make sure be cautious of this, that you're going in and you're changing this. And also when you go and actually pick the template, for some reason this is saying it's a just sold ad, but it says just listed. So make sure you're not going too quick with these. So instead I would probably say, just listed in Chappaqua by maybe the Corinne Kate team. And you could say like walk to 3 bedrooms, 3 bedroom, 3-bath, walk to town, whatnot, whatever you want to put on there. And then the banner here would be agent listed by Kate Bauer, but I could also do the Corinne and Kate team or anybody else who's on my team. And then you can change up the Facebook headline. You can change out where you want the website to go to. So if I wanted this, maybe go to the CorinneandKateTeam.com instead of when they clicked on it, going to the listing, you can change that up. So definitely play around with this. There's a lot of things that you can edit in here. Any questions on how to set up a digital ad? Cool. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is definitely a tool that I think it's not hard to run a digital ad. It's hard to understand what the best practice is for it and what other agents are doing. That's usually what I feel like people are more interested on. So I'm going to go back now, discard this. And I did want to do one of these like build your brand ones that I like. Hold on. Create. Let me go back. Which ones? Maybe it wants me to create from here. Okay, so it's asking for me to go in and add an asset here. Usually there's a way for me to, well, let's make a video then. I'll go back to the video. If you wanted to do like a still, you could do like a lifestyle shot from there. But we'll do a build your brand video. Grow your brand, I should say. So like this one, I kind of like the meet the team thing here. So obviously this is not one that can be auto generated for you. You're going to have to go in and kind of update this. So here I could say, meet the Corinne and Kate team. You can add media here. So like I could add a lifestyle shot of us. Let's see what I've got. Add this. And then obviously we're right here. I'd be playing around with this, pick like a better quality lifestyle shot and whatever. I'm just putting this in here, pretend it's perfect resolution. On some of them, you can change this. It just depends on which template you're choosing, but on some of them, you can change like where the text goes, what the layout's going to be. Maybe you could have multiple pictures, whatnot. And then you can go in and change here. So you can say your Westchester real estate experts. I'd probably do a picture of Westchester in the back. You guys are probably getting it. You're like, okay, keep it moving. And then our specialties, so this could be like single family houses, country estates, first time buyers, whatever you want to put in there. And if you just don't even like this one as a whole, you can press this trash button right down here. So if I didn't even like that, I would just keep it moving with the things that I do. So like what makes the Corinne and Kate team unique, all of this. So once you're happy with how it's looking here, move this because that goes to some random office. Good here. Then you can go ahead and click generate. You can do this different format. So, and this is only on some templates. The newer templates, you can do square or vertical, but I have gotten feedback that on some it only offers a square format. So just know that if you're using like an older template from a few years ago, they don't have all of them formatted for that. So you could change that, change the music. A lot more songs in here than we used to. I think when I first got here, we had like two little
Can
jingles
I,
that you could pick from.
can I ask a quick
Yeah,
question? This is Jennifer. Yeah, with a
sure.
square in the rectangle, wouldn't that have to be with if it's a post or if it's a story?
This is, I think that this is technically formatted for a story. So yeah, if you wanted to download this, you could. But I've seen people run these vertical ones as a digital ad as well, and it adjusts the format for the size.
Right.
I usually like the square ones just because our pictures I feel like fit a little bit better, especially if it's like a team or something like that. So then the same exact thing I just did, generate video, watch it, make sure you like the look of it, and then go run your digital ad. Let me pull up an insights report. So I did this in the first call and I think it was kind of well received. So more moving in, unless there's any other like specific technical questions, or can I move into like a best practice that I do? Kind of good on it. Okay. So I brought this up last time. I have a good story about a digital ad, and the insights report got me this like massive price reduction, and the house ended up going for the full new ask, I should say, after the price reduction within 6 days of doing this digital ad. So what I thought process behind it for me was it was a house in northern Westchester, and these clients specifically hired us because they loved Compass, they loved the reach that I have within the company, and they really wanted to make sure that that was shown throughout the entire time that they were listed with us. So they wanted to make sure that there were a lot of city buyers coming and seeing this. And even though I was saying it, it was like a perfect example of I was telling them, not showing them. They felt like they were saying they weren't believing me. I make them out to be like bad people whenever I tell a story, but they were just saying, they're like, are you sure, Kate? Are you sure? Like, are you positive that the city brokers know about this? It's a great weekend getaway, whatever. I'm like, yes. Oh my God, I don't know how many more times I can say this. So I decided to take, $250, $290, and I ran a digital ad. And because of the insights report from that, where it showed that I think like 23% of the viewers, because you can do it, it'll give you like the map of the location of it. Because it showed that it wasn't the only thing we talked about on the conversation, but it was showing them, not telling them that no, really, like 30% of the people or 23% of the people, whatever it was on there that clicked on this ad or that viewed this ad were coming from the city. It was very helpful. And then when you pull up your insights report in general, Compass is also tracking the location. So it showed two things. It showed that obviously I'm trying very hard for your listing. I took $300 and I ran this digital ad, which sometimes that's all it takes too, I've heard, is just people seeing that you are trying something new, something innovative, even if it's just for us a digital ad. So that's another great thing to think about doing. If you feel like you have people kind of fighting you on either, are you doing enough for their house? Or they're not happy with maybe, or they're questioning, I should say, where the viewership is actually coming from, or just simply the amount of views that they're getting. Because when it gives you this insight report of how a digital ad performed, I don't know, it says some crazy number, like 13,000 people, scrolled through this ad, which to a seller, you have to kind of think is like, oh, okay, well, obviously they're getting this in front of people. So sometimes it is worth it just spending the money to make sure that people are seeing how much you're doing for it. So I'm going to share one that I've done just to show you what that looks like. Let me see. And again, if you guys need to stop me, you can at any time. This- Okay. Yes. Just booted me out. Sorry. I went to go back to show you something and it kicked me out of there. Okay. Let me show you how to get here since it booted me out. So you're going to go to marketing, recent projects from here. And then this is where everything will be from, like if you sent a newsletter, digital ad, anything you've made, listing presentations or whatnot. So these are an example of like some digital ads that I've run before. So here you can see it'll show you like 21,000 or whatever, 21,000 plus impressions, 850 clicks. I think that's the click-through rate, the cost per click, and then the budget. So see like that standard 290. So it is nice to be able to show how this works, and you can review and share the report from here. So this way, it wants to load. Typically the whole ending of it will load, but it's like a 4-page report. You guys have probably seen it before. Oh, it's probably because of here. Okay, so make sure everything's clicked on, and it'll give you all of the information from it. So when the ad ran, 84% of views came from new visitors, total views for your listing, 70% of views came from here. Oh, so it's running it until today, that's why. Let me get down to the digital ad. I feel like this is just a standard insight report. Okay, I think it's booting me into a standard insight report for some reason. I want to go back in and see just how the ad was performing. That was like the first graph that it was giving us, but this is that page that I was talking about. So like showing that right here, almost 26% of people who are viewing it are coming from New York or a bunch of the other areas, whatever you're trying to show. And then where your viewership is coming from. So yeah, so it did boot me back into here, but you guys get the point. When you go back into marketing and recent projects, it'll show you specifically how the digital ad ran. And as you're running a digital ad too, I wish I had something to kind of show you, but it'll give you kind of check-in emails too of how the digital ad is going halfway through that 10-day mark as well. Let's see here. So this is where it's showing you everything. So really nice to be able to see how a lot of these things are adding up. And this is where also, I think to somebody else's question before, I would be going to see if these are worth it for me to keep running, making sure I am happy with the amount of traction that they're getting. And you can also start to compare as well. You know, if you did want to end up manipulating anything, changing the zip codes, changing the prices or how much you're spending on anything, this is good for you to be able to kind of compare what insights you're getting from each of them. All right. Any questions? Cool. Let me check the
I
chat
had a
1 second.
couple that I had put in the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at yours now. So I was just saying.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Other than insights report, what do you provide your sellers each week in regards to updates? Definitely showings, what the feedback is looking like there. Honestly, I haven't had a listing I feel like last longer than a week right now for me to be giving them too many updates. But typically in a normal market, I would say all of the feedback, which I'm usually also giving them after each showing too. It depends on, obviously, I think this also depends on how many showings are happening. If it's a bigger listing and you're only getting a few a week, then, you know, they probably want to have that call and check in after the showing. But feedback, any kind of offers, I have like an offer spreadsheet that I also put together, which for those weekends where I'm only having one weekend to really talk to them about what the feedback is, that's a great place to kind of put everything. And then where's the best way to get detailed training on Insights Report and how to best use them and explain them to clients? I have a call on Insights Reports that I think I've already done a few weeks ago. If you wanted to go and look in the CSC portal for that, you can type in Insights Reports. We also have like a 3-minute training on how to get to it as well. And I'm sure I have another one coming up on the schedule too. So can take a look at that.
And in terms of other marketing that you do you ever use like those email blasts out to other agents where you can send out right to like 10,000 agents in a certain area, whether it's the area that you're listed in or an area you're trying to target buyers coming in from?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have in my CRM we list primarily, I'd say in like Northern Westchester for actually like the listing side of things. So I have all those agents tagged by school district in the CRM. So obviously whenever we list something new, they get tagged, they'll get sent everything out via the Compass email marketing, template there. Also, if like you ever wanted to share things, even though I don't think it's my best practice, I get a lot of them, sending them to like other Compass agents. I definitely have like my tri-state group that I think it could be nice sometimes to give them a little bit of like an update as to what's going on. But I definitely use the email templates in there that we have for that.
You don't actually pay for those services like Zip Your Flyer or, where you
No.
spend basically like $100 per email to send to all agents in a certain county.
No, I've not done that. I'm known to not be, and it's fine if everyone else is. It's just like my own personal opinion, not as like a coach, just as an agent. I really don't like to spam people with a lot of stuff. I think I have a really good social following with all the agents that definitely see a lot of my stuff. So I think they see it there, and then the agents that really need to know, the ones that are transacting, I think they're on that email list if they're meant to be there. For me personally, that's what works best.
So you've created those internal lists of agents. You've developed
Yeah,
your own.
I have. Yep. And I still have the networking tool. Some people have said they don't have the networking tool. I don't know if anybody else has not seen it, but there is a networking tool in Compass in as well, where you can put in an address of a property, take maybe the new listing that you're about to list, for example, put that in there. And then it will generate a certain amount of agents, whatever you tell it to, for who have transacted, and it'll rank them actually by the agent who's transacted the most to the least. And then you can export that and put it into your CRM as well, which is actually how I built most of my lists. I obviously have a large list from my mom as well, from brokers who we've known for years, but that's the main way we do it.
The
Hey,
networking tool is available on the workplace, like on the
Not
Compass.
on, yes, on the Compass platform. Let me see where it is. And I can do another call on this. It is in more, and then it's the first box in there. So it's this tool right here. You go to more and then the networking tool, and you can put in an address from here.
oh, that's cool.
Thank you. I did not know
Yeah.
about that. That's
Yeah.
huge.
If you
Thank
still
you.
have it, for some reason, like a year ago, someone said they were getting rid of it. I'm like, I don't know who I have to talk to, but I need this networking tool to stay in my life. So
Right.
it's still there for me, but it's really, it's a great feature.
Okay.
Kate, you did something last week. If I want to find it again, where do I find it on Chirag's? Is it under your name? You showed the expired listing that didn't sell, then you got the listing and you went through all the photos, how you redid.
Yes, my Canva presentation.
I
You know,
love that.
I really have to be careful when I do this because being me, I shared like the Canva presentation that everybody wanted and then went away on my bachelorette trip. So of course everyone's like, I have a listing pitch. I need this Canva presentation. I'm like, that's on me. Let me pull it up. It should be up on the platform now. I made sure it was uploaded yesterday, but
So
let me
when you go to the
see.
platform, how do you get to it?
I'm going to show you
Okay.
right
This
now.
is Jack.
All right.
Look at this.
So mine might look a little bit different only because like I have a coach's profile on here. But when you go into this, that session was for iPad presentation, I think was the name of it. Let me see
Okay.
if that comes up. 312, is that it? Yes.
So iPad presentation 312.
Yep, it's just, yeah, literally just type in the search bar, iPad presentation. I'm going
Okay.
to do it again. And the title of the session, this is the third one down on the search results, marketing calendars and iPad presentations. And then this is the recording that I can't click on because I can't hear my own voice on a recording. I'll spare everybody that. But click on that, you can watch me go through it. And then editable iPad template here. When you click view on this, it'll say Canva asset. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you click view, it's going to prompt you to go into Canva. You do need to have an account with Canva
Oh, okay.
to log in. So just create an account on Canva and then you press use template for new design. I made this into a template. So it's don't feel like you're editing mine. It's making a copy just for you. You can play around and delete or add anything you want in there.
So you have to have an account to even look it up. Okay.
Yeah. But you can just log in with Google or anything like that. I don't know if the only reason why I say to maybe pay for an account is because I know a lot of the animations I have embedded in there are because I have like this Canva Pro account. So if you don't have a Canva Pro account, I don't know if it deletes those or what happens to it.
Compass should partner with them.
I know. I should be making like a rev share from this. Like Canva, come on, sponsor me. Here we
I
go.
know, it was so good.
But
Okay.
I know I hate taking things like out of, I know I'm like obviously here's like a Compass tools trainer, but sometimes like I do feel like I just need a system that I can do a lot on. And so taking obviously all the Compass tools, but just putting them into this Canva presentation made a lot more sense as a platform for me to use.
That was the best presentation. It was great.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I woke up that morning and I'm like, I think if I can make this by like 1 o'clock today, people will like this. So there we go. And I'm sure it'll continue to evolve. So I'll keep working on it too. All right. Sorry to keep everybody over, but if you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I'll see you tomorrow for some more. Thank you guys.
Good
Talk to
job.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.